Alright, so to draw a bed in a room, we first start with our basic setup of the room, and if you forget how to do that, go back and watch the video on how to set up your drawing with one-point interior space. Here I am blocking out the space on the floor that the bed is going to take up. I'm lining up that line with my vanishing point, and then I'm going down and I'm going to cut off at the end where it finishes with a horizontal line that is unfortunately off camera, but it's just a horizontal line. As you can see there, just lined up at the edge of my paper to draw that horizontal line, keep it perfectly horizontal. Now I am marking out the space that it's going to take up on the right wall. So again, from that point to the vanishing point, I'm going to draw out that line, made it longer than I needed to. Okay, but then I'm going to take and use my ruler or my straight edge to draw a vertical line from the corner point right there. I'm going to take it straight up to where that line meets on the wall. Then I can go and erase that. That's going to be the end of the bed. So this shows how much space the bed takes up on the floor as well as on the wall where it's going to block it off. I'm going to do the same thing on the wall at the head of the bed. Just going to draw a vertical and horizontal line there to complete my rectangle. Again, lining up the edge of my straight edge with the edge of my paper to make sure that it's perfectly horizontal. Draw it over. Do the same thing coming up from the bottom to draw my vertical line, lining the ruler up with the edge of the paper to make sure that my lines are staying nice and horizontal and vertical. Now I have the space that it's taking up on the three walls, or the two walls and the floor. Now I'm going to line up my ruler with the vanishing point and that corner, and I'm going to draw that out as seen there. Then I'm going to do my horizontal line from the foot of the bed to connect those. Next, and now I have my new point to drop down a vertical line and complete the rectangular prism shape that is taking up the space of the bed in this room. If this is the basic that you've got, you're good. Okay, we've got the top of the bed as I'm outlining here. It's kind of hard to see with the extra lines, so it's the top of the bed. Then I have the foot of the bed, that plane. What you don't see is that area in there because that is from the side. So that's the area that you wouldn't see because you're standing at the foot of the bed, and you wouldn't see the other side because it's up against the wall. So now we're just going to go and erase all of the extra lines. And it's going to make this bed shape more easily recognizable because we can actually see what we're actually looking at. We don't no longer have a see-through bed. So once you get rid of those extra lines, you can see how that's the basic bed that's going to take up space in the room. And if this is I'm just going back and filling in the lines where they sort of got erased. If this is the best that you can do, if this is the, this is all you can get done is you draw the shape for the bed, you're good. We're going to take it and take it one step further. I'm going to show you how to take this cold hard slab that would not be a very comfortable bed and turn it into something more comfortable. Here we're just rounding off the corners, just making it a little softer, softening those edges. Same thing up here. Mimicking that curve that we did at the foot of the bed. Okay, and then just erase that little bit of extra. And kind of go back and clean up the line if you need to. Kind of like when we're doing our non-rectangular shapes with our letters. Sometimes have those little extra lines in there. It just helps us see the form. And put that extra one in there if you want to. It's not really needed, but again, just helps see that curvature. Curve off that last corner. And then you just go and erase your extra corners, all the little extra things that you don't really need. You're going to see it's a more softened shape. Just cleaning up my lines. Already it's looking softer and more comfortable. Get it back in focus. A couple little more details that you can add to make it a little bit nicer. I'm just going to kind of give the little curve of the blanket that's hanging over the bed. It's a little soft ripple. And then at the peak and valley of each of those little curves, I'm just doing a little line going vertically up just to kind of mimic the ruffle that would be in the bed or in the bedding as it's hanging over the edge. If you could see the other side of the bed, you would do the same thing along there as well, just erasing those little extra lines along the bottom. So if it went up the side, I would draw a line back to my vanishing point just to see, give me the height for each of those ruffles. But basically it's the exact same technique. Now I'm just going to kind of eyeball it, and I'm going to cut off a space there where I'm going to add in the fold of where the sheet folds over. And you make your bed, how just kind of, you fold the sheet and the blanket back. There's a little folded over area. Draw that in there. It's beginning to look more and more like a bed. Now we're going to go and put in for our pillows. So I'm just going to do that real light crisscross there to find the center. Right there. Zoom in so we can actually see what we're doing. We're going to line up the center mark there with the vanishing point. And that's going to cut the bed in half so we know how much space each pillow is going to take up. Now a real simple way to do a pillow is just to do 4 little arcs, just real soft arcs like that. Right now it looks like a deformed circle. But then if you go in and just put those in those little corners, little pillow corners, it's a cute little pillow. Isn't it adorable? Same thing on the other side. 4 soft arcs. Add the little pillow corners. And then the last thing you need to do is just go in and erase out all those little extra lines that you don't need anymore. Now they look like well-worn-in pillows on a bed. Now you've got your bed. Voila.